Hello, hello. I want to show you some neat things for lesson 14. So, module 6, lesson 14. Let's have a look at the objective. We'll construct parallel lines and analyze relationships of the coordinate pairs. So, pretty cool stuff. And what I'm starting with here is points A and B. Well, point A is 2, 3, B is 7, 5. So, you're going to move this. Yeah. So I just plotted those points, A, B, and 7, 5. And what I'd like to do is make a parallel line segment on this coordinate plane. So instead of just making on a rectangular grid like we did, I want to make it on a coordinate plane. And you remember this from yesterday. This is half of that rectangle that we started with. So rectangle RST. And you can see that if I want to, yesterday we used a straight edge. We kind of slid things around using the straight edge, right? You can slide it this way, you could slide it this way, and in that way we made parallel lines. Well, today I just want to make parallel lines by sliding it along these grid lines that are either parallel to the x-axis or parallel to the y-axis. Depending on where you're sliding the triangle, it's going to change the x-coordinate and leave the y-coordinate the same, or change the y-coordinate and leave the x-coordinate the same in order to make them parallel. Or maybe there will be a pattern. So you can see that I could make a parallel line by just sliding triangle RST down. I just slide it down 1 unit, and point associated with angle S here, point associated with angle T here, draw a line segment. That line segment is going to be parallel to that line segment. And I can do that as long as I stay, as long as I stay on, in this case, the Y, this X coordinate. And same thing if I stay on this Y coordinate. I will move it 1 unit, 2 units, and draw a line segment between the point associated with angle S, the point associated with angle T. This line segment is going to be parallel to that line segment. So let's draw a couple and see what we see. How about, let's go down here to, what did I want? I want 2, 2. So let's start with point C at 2, 2. So that's point C. And all I've done is moved my right triangle down 1. So it's going to give me an C point and a D point. And you can see that that line segment is parallel to the line AB. And now let's just take a look at the points C and D. Let's see, the point D is 7, 4. Now if we compare point A and point C, and point B and point D, so A and C, x-coordinate stays the same. And the y-coordinate decreases by 1. And for B and D, x-coordinate stays the same. Y-coordinate decreases by 1. Okay, so let's go back to point A, and this time let's move it. We'll move it to the right. Okay, except this time we're going to move it to the right. I'm going to slide it to the right 2 spaces, right? 2 units. So 1, 2. We'll call this point. D, E, and F. So there's points E and F. E, F, E, F. E is 4, 3. F is 9, 5. and I want to compare A and E and B and F. And what I'm going to see changes is X coordinate stays the same. I'm sorry, X coordinate changes, Y coordinate stays the same. X coordinate changes, Y coordinate stays the same. So let's look at A and E. So A and E. Y coordinate stays the same. X coordinate increases by 2. For B and F, Y coordinate stays the same. X coordinate increases by 2. And then you can imagine that you could do 2 of those. So you could shift it both. Let's see, you could shift it maybe down 3, 1 unit, 2 units, 3 units, and then over 2, 1, 2, and you would have a corresponding change in your X and Y coordinates. All right. Okay, I'm going to come back in 1 second, and we'll look at a couple more of these. Okay. So let's do the same thing down here, only we'll use lines instead of line segments. So point C is 1.5, 2.5. Let's do this. Let's see. How about that? 1.5, 2.5. There's point C. Point D is 3, 2. There's point D. And since this is a line, I'm going to go right through the points. It's a little bit low, but so there's a line CD. And let's see if we can make parallel points E and F. So I'm going to go down here for E. Let's make a point there for E. And now where's F going to be? Well, so if C, the Y coordinate is going to change. Or I'm sorry, for E, the Y coordinate is going to change. Y coordinate will change. X will stay the same. And F, the Y coordinate will change. We'll go decrease by 2, and X will stay the same. So let's just see. X coordinate stays the same as I go to E, 1.5, and the Y coordinate goes down by 2 units. In this case, is 1. So is the number 1. So this would be 1.5. So it goes down by 1.5. So 1.5, 1.5, and F, the X coordinate is going to stay the same as D, and the Y coordinate is going to decrease by 1 whole, which is 2 grid lines. So that's 1. So let's double check. E, 1.5, 1.5, yes. F, 3, 1, yes. Okay, beautiful. And in this way, we have another parallel line. And if I wanted to, I should also write here, let's see. So CD, line CD is parallel to line EF. And I'm also going to add that line CD is not perpendicular. We're going to learn about perpendicular in our next lesson. So line EF is not perpendicular to CD. So cluster sign. All right. And then finally, let's plot point G. And we'll put point G at, we're going to put 3, 3.5, 2.5. So 3.5, 2.5 is right here. And I want to find another point that will make a line that's parallel. Well, so if G corresponds to, basically I'm just looking for another point that where I can find a rule or a pattern, and find a rule or a pattern from C to G or D to G that gives me another point. All right, so let's see. So I think I'm just going to go with G is the x coordinate increases, but the y coordinate is the same as C, right? X coordinate increases, but the y coordinate is the same. So let's do H compared to D with the x coordinate increasing and the y coordinate staying the same. Yeah. So let's see, this went up. If I'm comparing C to G now, C to G, x coordinate, y coordinate stays the same, 2.5, 2.5. X coordinate goes up by 2, right? So we'll now compare D to H. X coordinate is going to, y coordinate stays the same. X coordinate goes up by 2. So that'll be 5, 2. Now let's see if I did that right. 5 and 2. That looks right. Or no, that needs to be 5 and, what am I comparing it to? D. Oh, it's because I plotted it wrong. Yeah, point's right, plotted it wrong. Yeah, okay, so there's H. 5, 2. And therefore, I make line GH. And basically, I made that line because I wound up comparing C to G, C to G, and D to F, and kind of establishing a rule to help me find a line or another point to make that line parallel. All right, good luck on the problem set.